Yuki and Hideo's
SOL Public Speaking Studio, the official podcast and video series of the Shin-Osaka Leaders Toastmasters Club in Japan.
I'm your host, Yuki Wagano.
And Hideo Tema.
Today, what we are going to talk about is the history of Shin-Osaka Leaders Toastmasters Club. You are the founder of Shin-Osaka Leaders.
Yep.
Yes. And I'm a new member, so I didn't have a chance to see what original members have been through, actually. And as a new member who doesn't really know much about the history of Shin-Osaka Leaders Toastmasters Club, I'm curious about what it means. What it meant for you and other founders.
So, where should I start?
So, starting a club from scratch was overwhelming to me. So, what got you interested in starting a new club in the first place?
In the first place, yes, it dates back to something like 2017 or 18. I was a member of another club, or other two clubs, actually. And I thought to myself, we need more Toastmasters clubs in Osaka. Back then, there were only two Toastmasters clubs in the city of Osaka. Two in the city of population of 2.6 or 7 million. Yeah. And on the other hand, Nishinomiya, which was the city host city of another club I was a member of, Nishinomiya City has a population of 500,000, right? Or 0.5 million. And it had 3 Toastmasters club. Compare that, 2.6 or 7 million and 2 clubs. 0.5 million and 3 clubs. That's a stark difference. And I wanted to create another club in Osaka. And we were working together with another one. I shouldn't be naming his name, but a member of another club I was a member of. And we were kind of floating the idea of creating a new club, but it did not really come through because he was named the president of that club, and he thought he would be too busy to do 2 things at the same time, being a leader of one Toastmasters club and creating another. So the plan collapsed, and I stopped dreaming about it for some time. But I really wanted to create another one. And it was there in the back of my mind. And I started talking about creating a club in Osaka in the other club I was a member of, Nishinomiya TGIF Toastmasters Club. And, I was talking about this idea with one particular person. And he was interested, but I thought it was too challenging to start a new club with 2 of us, only 2 of us. Because when you have a meeting, you have a lot of people to organize a meeting, right? You need to have speakers, you need to have evaluators, and you need to have topics master to provide topics for the table topics session. And of course, we need a grammarian, all counter, timer, and Toastmaster of the day, who will be MC in the event, and the general evaluator. We need something like 10 or even more people to have a decent meeting. And only 2 of us does not really work. So we were not moving at all. And at one point, he asked me, "Hey, Tema-sensei, what happens to that plan?" And that word pushed me. And I started talking about the idea with other people in that club. And we had 3 more people who were interested in launching a new club. And when we have 5, we can probably do something. And that's where we started with the idea of Shin-Osaka Leaders.
So what exactly did you guys for the meeting, like one speaker, one evaluator, and one topics master, one timer. No, timer can.
Well,
I don't understand because in Shin-Osaka Leaders we usually need maybe 16.
I don't know how to count.
No, because we usually have 4 speeches.
4 speeches.
Means
4 speeches, 4 evaluators. Yes.
And I can go there.
Okay, that's 8, and we have the topic. No. The table. No, what do I want to say? The Toastmasters of the day, and general evaluator, and topics master, all counter, grammarian, timer.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So we need 14 people to run the meeting.
14.
And of course, we need someone like a vote counter or Zoom master.
Yeah, right. So 16. Yeah. Yay! I was right.
Well, we created new roles like web writer, who write an article to go up on the Facebook page and stuff like that. I don't know how many to count in. But anyway, at that point in time, and that was somewhere around July in 2019, and we had a meeting, a kind of a kickoff meeting in August 2019, and we discussed it. And we have 7 different officer roles, right? A president who will be representing the entire organization, and vice president education, vice president membership, vice president public relations, secretary, treasurer, and sergeant at arms. And we decided who will be taking which role. The 5 of us shared those 7 roles. So 2 of us doubled as club officers. And we decided on the name. And it was a long process. And we were kind of, wait a minute, we're not going anywhere. And one member suggested, how about Shin-Osaka Leaders? Because we want to be a leader in the Toastmasters sphere. We want to be a kind of club that will be leading the way how meetings are conducted. It sounds a little bit arrogant, but we wanted to have a quality meeting. That was taken from the Nishinomiya TGIF Toastmasters Club. Their club meetings are very productive, very efficient, really tight, no waste of time. And I was fascinated about that. So I wanted to create another club in Osaka, like Nishinomiya TGIF. And so in that respect, we wanted to be a leader in the way club meetings are conducted in the entire region. So that's one of the things that we kind of settled with that name. Another thing he pointed out that SOL, Sol, means sun in Spanish. And that does not really mean much nowadays. But at that point, all of us, 5 of us, that's a nice idea. So that's how we decided on the name of the club.
Yeah, it's cool. Like sun. Yeah, we are shining like a sun.
Oh, you put it in a nice way.
Well, yeah, very interesting story. So what was the hardest part of founding a club?
recruiting members.
Oh,
Yeah, because to be chartered, officially recognized as an official club, we need to have 20 members, right? And we were allowed to only count 3 existing Toastmasters. Yeah, and 5 of us were all existing Toastmasters. So we needed to recruit 17.
wow, 17.
Yeah, 17 people. And it took a little longer than that, partly because we were hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, that was something extra, additional. But without that, I think it would have taken a little bit longer than we had originally planned. I did not really say this specifically, but I had this vague image of launching a club in 9 months. And I think it would have taken us a little bit longer than a year. So it was a little bit a challenging and long process.
Yeah, I think most of the club has the similar, not the same, but the similar, similar challenge, like the recruiting members, regardless of the new club or the existing club, I think. Wow.
And one thing that's curious is a lot of people were kind of amazed that we made it during this difficult time when a lot of clubs are losing members due to the online nature of the club meetings. And old members are not a big fan of online meetings. They don't really enjoy talking to a camera. They want to talk to a live audience. And a lot of clubs lost a lot of members. And we were able to recruit 20, including ourselves. And we were chartered. So that was something of amazement. And but I think it's not too bad. I mean, too difficult, too hard to recruit new members. When you are doing the right thing, that's the most difficult part, because a lot of clubs don't do the right thing the right way.
Okay. All right. So the other question is, I've been visiting a lot of clubs since I masters, not only in Japan but also overseas. And what I feel is like each Toastmasters club has its own kind of personality, like a style, I would say. And so my question is, what kind of club did you want to build? What kind of club did you want to build? And also, what kind of people did you want to join as members of Shin-Osaka Leaders you built at that time?
Okay, yeah. Let me answer that question from a different perspective. The first perspective is the date and time when we meet. We wanted to make a club that meets during the week at night after work, because we wanted to have a club for working people. Yeah. And a lot of people want to work on Toastmastering after work and spare the weekend for some other purposes. They don't want to sacrifice their Saturday or Sundays. So we wanted to create a club that meets on a weekday night. That's one thing. And of course, like I said, we wanted a club based in Osaka, right? And like I mentioned, we wanted to create a club that is similar to Nishinomiya TGIF, which has a very efficient club meetings. In other clubs in Kansai area, more relaxed clubs have something like 10 minutes before the club president opened the meeting, before the MC of the meeting, Toastmaster of the day, appears on stage. They have a lot of announcements or recognition or introduction of guests and blah, 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 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But we didn't want to do that. In Nishinomiya TGIF and in Shin-Osaka Leaders, we jump right in. After the meeting is called to order, we only take a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, or even 4 minutes before the real part of the meeting, educational portion of the meeting starts. And we only call the names of the guests to briefly introduce them. For example, okay, I'm going to call your name. When your name is called, please say hi with a big smile. Okay, Yuki. Thank you. Welcome to Shin-Osaka Leaders. And next, we don't have the self-introduction part at the beginning. It may come across a little bit rude to someone who is familiar with providing opportunities to guests to say something, to introduce themselves at the beginning of the meeting. But hey, my philosophy or our philosophy, the club meetings are for the members to practice public speaking. And guests are here and it's welcome. They're welcome, but we don't want to spend too much time for them because club meetings are for members to provide educational opportunities for members who have paid their membership fees. So that's how we want to organize our meetings, to be efficient, wasting no time. And in Nishinomiya TGIF, we had 4 prepared speeches, 5 to 7 minute prepared speeches in a 90-minute program, really packed. And we wanted to do the same thing in Shin-Osaka Leaders. And of course, when we have a little bit larger group of audience, guests, the meeting can drag on a little bit longer than scheduled because at the end, we, of course, provide some opportunities for guests to share their thoughts about the meeting. And we sometimes have a little bit larger than usual club members. That means we have some members without any chance to talk during the meeting. And we want to provide those members have an opportunity to share their thoughts about the meeting and what they learned during the meeting. And when that happens, the meeting could drag on 5 minutes, 10 minutes longer than scheduled. And we did not really like that. So that's why we extended the meeting time from 90 minutes to 100 minutes so that everything finishes on time. But the quality, the philosophy of having an efficient and productive meeting stays true with Shin-Osaka Leaders.
Well, I think the time management is the one of the things which makes Shin-Osaka Leaders stands out. And the guests are welcome. Guests are always welcome. And also we set the guidance, guest guidance time after the meeting. So we can share their information and then we can chat about it. Yeah, everything about it, Shin-Osaka Leaders. And so guests, new member. Yes, please.
Oh my goodness, she's in the public relations mode. Well, one thing that's important in public relations is, or probably it's good for those people watching or listening to us here. If you're interested, make sure that you are like-minded. In a sense, for example, we want to be very efficient and productive and waste no time. So probably some people, our meeting might feel too busy, too hectic. And if you are a person who wants to be relaxed, to have a good time talking about sharing your opinions about the speech, when one speech is over, probably you might want to write a comment in the chat window to share how you felt. Or probably if you are a Toastmaster of the day who will be emceeing the meeting, you want to say a few words to comment on the speech. Spend something like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 1 minute. If you do it every time a speaker finishes, that adds up. And that's going to be a substantial amount of time, which deprives other members to practice their impromptu speeches in table topics session. And when we value those two things, the MC commenting on the speeches, taking up a lot of time, a lot of speaking time in the meeting, and as many members as possible practicing their speech, either it be prepared speech or evaluation speech or impromptu speech. As many people as possible having some time to practice. Which do we value? We value equal opportunity. Not just one person taking up too much time talking, which I'm doing now. So if you are comfortable with this kind of setting, Shin-Osaka Leaders is the best place. But if you want to be a little bit more relaxed, I don't know what to say. So, come visit us and seat yourself and test the water. See if you really enjoy the meeting or not. And if you enjoy it, join us. And if you feel somewhat awkward or somewhat, this is not the right place for me, you shouldn't be joining us. Because there are so many different Toastmasters clubs with different tastes, different value sets, different demographic, and you will find a better place for you than Shin-Osaka Leaders. So finding the right place to join, right group, right club to join is one of the most important thing in finding the right club, So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the great advice. And I felt like love, your love for Shin-Osaka Leaders. Yeah, and my last question is, what do you love about the Shin-Osaka Leaders Toastmasters Club the most?
Okay, the people probably. I did not mention when you answered me what kind of club I wanted to create or what we wanted to create. We wanted to create a club for working people and most importantly, who want to grow. For example, in our evaluation session, we tend to include more suggestions for improvement than in other clubs. In other clubs, I've heard in some clubs, members are not encouraged to make suggestions. They are encouraged to find as many good things as possible about the speeches. That's one way to think about it. Some people want to be commended on their performance and made assured that you are doing good. And through that, they will gain confidence and they are encouraged to do more. And by doing more, they will improve. That's one way to look at it. That's one philosophy. But I think people who are suitable for us, in Shin-Osaka Leaders, will be a little bit more aggressive, probably. We want suggestions, specific suggestions. What we want to do is, if I can have a group of people like-minded who wants more specific suggestions for improvement, then we can learn more quickly. And so that's why I want to have those like-minded people who crave for suggestions or constructive criticism so that we can learn and be a better version of ourselves each and every time we take the stage as a speaker. In this episode, we covered how we started creating a new club, Shin-Osaka Leaders Toastmasters Club. And then we talked about some of the characteristics of our club in some ways in comparisons to other Toastmasters Club I know of, we know of probably. And then, I think that's about it. We charted back in 2021, or to be exact, January 24th, 2021. And it's been almost a year now. We're taking this, recording this on the 10th of January, 2022. So it's almost been a year and we are doing fine. But of course, we are welcoming new members, new guests who can kind of empathize who can work together with us in supportive manner, try to be as helpful as possible in finding some good things, but not just good things, but some things that did not really work in our speeches or in our performance in roles and everything, so that we can improve ourselves quicker, faster, and more quickly. And that's about it. That's, I think, what describes Shin-Osaka Leaders. If you're interested, if you are, if you like some part of this episode, and if you're interested, hit the link in the description and visit our website and see a lot more information about what we do and how we do it. And then pay us a visit.
Yes.
And see for sure yourself to decide this is the right place for you to grow together with us. And like I said in the middle, if you are not quite comfortable with what we do, probably you can visit another Toastmasters Club, because we have a lot of different kind of Toastmasters Club, different style, different atmosphere, different demographic, and you will probably find the best fit for you. So maybe you can take the Shin-Osaka Leaders Toastmasters Club as a first step for your search of the right place to join. And that's going to be our pleasure.
Thank you for the wrap up. And again, for listening and thank you for watching. So see you in the next episode.
All right. See you.